All right, the next one is from, here we go, Joe Troll.
Okay.
All right.
And the subject is Otis Mania.
Buried Joseph. Joe, go ahead.
Choo choo, all aboard the Trump train, Trump 2020. The Bolins are assholes.
Huh.
The opening statement from Joe Troller. So I'm watching Elimination Chamber, and I've been checking out SmackDown a lot lately. Heavy Machinery are over huge and pretty good workers, especially Otis. So my question goes to Konnan. If you had a team on your roster in AAA or MLW that had one member who was so over, would you split them up already and push one guy, or do you think it's too soon? Enzo and Cass, I think, got damaged in that they went solo before the tag team had peaked, plus Enzo is a wigger asshole. I gotta tell you guys, when I first seen Otis, I thought it was just some fat fuck with a pair of tits that should be wearing an AEW hoodie on a public bus during work hours. But this guy is great, and he puts in capital letters GREAT. I'm not saying make him world champion or anything, but he could be a good IC US champion, and we gotta keep saying this till it happens. Kriller Cross versus Triple H at SummerSlam 2020. Interesting. What do you think about Joe Troller's comments?
Well, he didn't insult anybody. Oh, he did. The Bolins, right?
Yeah.
So I have the same thing, bro. We got a guy in Mexico, Niño Hamburguesa, super over guy with a lot of charisma.
I gotta think. I'm questioning the identity of Joe Troller.
Right.
Right? Because here's the thing. This guy started sending emails, and it says Joe Troller, and Joe Troller the man is his email, right?
Right.
That seems like a fake email somebody would make up. Like, if this guy was writing an email, and would he make up a whole new account of him, or he just use his email address?
Do you think
his email address definitely is not his YouTube profile. So who do you think this could be? Do you think that Joe Troller could possibly be Mike Durbin?
Please.
You think that there's a real Joe Troller, but then some of the Joe Troller emails are from fake Joe Trollers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that Joe Troller, but I'm saying this. My whole thing is like, I'm potentially looking at this as like, Joe Troller and Mike Fegan could both be Hughesy.
That's interesting.
If you look at the dynamic there.
You just said it was me. Now you're saying it's Hughesy?
I think it could be Hughesy.
I think you're throwing names out of the hat. It's like
because let me tell you something.
Glenn, me and Hughesy are both known to people, right?
Okay, but let me tell you this.
Time.
Okay, I read these emails every week, right?
Yeah, but people use burner accounts all the time.
I'm aware of that, but let me tell you this. When I read the Joe Troller email, when I read the Mike Fegan email, when I read Hughesy's email, they all are written very similar in a very similar style.
Interesting.
Like one line at the beginning, a couple of paragraphs, and a thing at the end, like a PPF, but it's just like one sentence at the end, like the way Hughesy does. At the end, he'll do a joke. He'll do a joke at the beginning, a body, and a joke at the end.
Huh.
So I definitely think that Hughesy, we're on. I'm calling it. I'm calling Hughesy. Hughesy is Joe Troller and Mike Fegan, and I'm not making that statement on it.
I think that would take, if you look at like the YouTube channels and stuff like that, do you think he really has enough time?
Absolutely.
Constantly comment at guys and argue with himself?
He responds to like 90% of the comments in the YouTube section.
Does he? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep it 100 officials constantly responding.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
He probably had a lot of time like you and Durbin did before you had podcasts and was doing shit like that. Boom.
I'm going to Creative Control Network investigation. We're going to start at the top. We're going to work our way down. We're going to find this out.
Let's ask the panel.
I have no
what their
faith in
opinions
this.
of Otis are. Carlos, what's your opinion of Otis?
He's been entertaining. I wouldn't get my hopes up about anything, though, to be honest.
All right, Nate, who's next?
Yeah, I find it very, very entertaining. Personally, I think it's probably one of the best things on the show whenever I do watch it. I just wish they would give, we know WWE Creative. Who knows what they'll do next? Yeah.
Durbin, what do you got?
I've never seen anything with him. I don't watch any of the current product, but I've seen something on Instagram with him and Mandy Rose, and I thought that was funny. So he looks different. So I give him credit for that.
What do you think of him,
that's
Joe?
one thing
I think whatever organic reactions they're getting with this guy, they're going to ruin it like they usually do and probably over push him. And I think splitting the team and trying to use him as a single already would be a big mistake and would probably hurt him.
What do you think of him, Joe? Glenn?
He's entertaining, but he's like a funny, bro, that's the thing. Isn't it funny how anybody that shows any type of like character or thing, people are like, wow, that's the greatest stuff, because all everybody else is doing is just wrestling and doing moves.
Right.
This guy's showing a character, and people gravitate. It's like, oh, look at this guy. He's larger than life.
Right.
He's a good character. He's, it's like.
So
he's figuring it out,
So we got a couple guys like him in AAA. And so they're guys that when they go out there, they always get a pop. Even if they don't have a storyline, they're super charismatic. So I take care of Nino Hamburguesa, and I actually put him in the main event, his first main event ever, in the show we did against MLW versus AAA in Tijuana, TV taping. And he was mega over.